Marriage, a show where we examine modern marriage from every angle, including our own relationship. I'm Allison Raskin. I'm a New York Times bestselling author, relationship coach, and mental health advocate, and I coerced my husband into doing the show with me.
And I'm Allison's coerced husband, John Blakesley, and I'm a writer, policy researcher, and last night I ate my wife's dinner.
Yeah, you did.
I just ate your dinner. We ordered Thai food, and we ordered the same thing, but I got the spicy eggplant medium.
Yeah.
And you got it mild.
Right.
And I also added stuff. Like, I added, like, some veggies, and I was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to be, like, really healthy tonight. But I had to scarf down the food, and I just grabbed it, and, you know, it's eggplant. It looks familiar, I guess. And I ate probably half your meal.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, crap. And so then I was, like, trying to put my food into yours, but mine are spicy. Was some of yours too spicy last night because of it?
No, but there was very little food.
Right. And so then I quickly ate like half your meal and then basically my entire meal.
Right.
So you had basically half a meal.
Uh-huh.
I way overate and kind of felt not good. And then I felt really bad about the whole thing.
And I'm pregnant. So
Right.
actually you ate not just your wife's dinner, but also your son's.
My unborn son's dinner. Well, he has to know who's boss. He has to know who's the king.
And then what you gave me was sort of like had been out for a while.
Right.
With like some really kind of slopped up rice.
It was kind of, sloppy
It
rice.
was like, yeah.
I was like, you want this sloppy rice and a couple eggplants that are too spicy for you?
So needless to say, I snacked quite a bit last night.
Right.
Yeah, I had a lot of wheat thins. Those were good. I had an apple. And I had those baked Cheetos that I love.
I only ate eggplant last night. I ate so much freaking spicy eggplant and so much mild eggplant. It was great. Thanks for being so nice about it.
Oh, well, it happens. It's very hard to get mad at somebody for something that's not intentional.
Fair enough.
Like, you could be upset with the situation, but how can you be mad at a person if they didn't mean to do something?
There you go.
All right. Well, we have a genealogical
Whoa.
episode for everyone today. Look at me using synonyms.com like crazy. We're going to be talking about the very tricky process of having in-laws.
Uh-oh.
And expanding your family when you get married. This was your pitch.
It was my pitch.
So get ready, Dad. Let's hear what he has to say. But first, we have got to do everyone's favorite segment of the show. Marriage Moment TM. Oh, whoosh, 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 whoosh.
Nice. It was nice. I think because you've been in your head about it.
Yeah.
And I really love the whoosh, whoosh, whoosh,
Yeah, you
the
love
other way.
this.
So now I'm
trying to repeat
you're trying
it.
you're trying to repeat it. And so it's a little derivative of that one, but
It
was good. It was pretty good.
Okay, thank you. I should really think about these before the moment.
It's really funny how this thing that I was like, hey, let's get the musicians to do a thing. We never have to think about it again. And you were like, no, the people need my music. Now it's stressing you out.
Yeah, it's a prison of my own making.
Now it's kind of fun, and it's just turned into me critiquing it every week. We never talked about this as a segment. It's just something that happened.
Well, you got to roll with the punches of where your marriage leads you.
Right, exactly.
All right, well, speaking of where our marriage leads you, my marriage moment for this week involves my mother, which makes sense given the theme of the episode. And it is that we go, every year that we can, we go away to this timeshare that my parents have in Mexico called Vedanta.
Vedanta.
And there are all of these signs everywhere for Le Petit Chef.
Le Petit Chef.
And it is a restaurant that features the smallest chef in the world.
It's incredible. This guy is so small. He's like the size of a fork, I think. Maybe smaller. And he's a chef.
Well, so what I was confused about to begin with is I said, who really cares about the size of their chef?
Right.
Right? To brag that you have the smallest chef is sort of irrelevant to the quality of the food or the experience.
I mean, it is astounding that given that he is, maybe 6 inches tall, that he became a professional chef?
So basically it's this cartoon, and my understanding of the restaurant is that you like go and it's like a tasting menu, and then like there's the little chef dances on your plate.
Right.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
And
I think
it's
so.
like-
I think so.
But anyway, this cartoon is all over the resort, and John got obsessed with Le Petit Chef.
Completely
So
obsessed.
he just kept taking all of these photos of Le Petit Chef, and then kept sending them to me and my parents. And my mom really latched onto this joke.
Your mom was on the same wavelength as me.
Like, she loved it. They'd go to Mexico without us, and she'd be sending us photos of Le Petit Chef. And it's often not like the full photo. It's like a zoom in on his little head.
Yeah, I would just get pictures of just like zoomed in Le Petit Chef.
Yeah, like thinking of you, Le Petit Chef.
Well, it was also part of it was that I was like, man, why do I look exactly like Le Petit Chef?
Yeah, you do look a lot like
I look
him.
like Le Petit Chef.
Yeah.
I am Le Petit Chef.
And it was also very funny because he's well drawn, but then his hands
Are all distorted.
are all distorted. And I was like, why couldn't the cartoonist figure out how to make proper hands?
Right.
And then my mom was like, no, his hands are forks.
She figured that out. She figured out that his hands are forks, which doesn't seem very helpful for a chef, but also
like genius.
they're flesh colored. So
But she figured it out.
It's not clear,
Right.
where the fork begins.
Right. It looks like just like very stiff fingers.
Right, exactly.
But she put it together that the intention of the artist was that they are forks.
Well, we just spent so many hours probably analyzing the photo, the perspective of like how big his head is versus how big like the tomato is, and like what that must mean for his anatomy, and like how Ruth and I really drilled down on the reality of the life of the Le Petit Chef, like how he can be this way, and what the picture is, what we can glean from this picture.
Yeah. And so that was a really lovely moment to have like a shared bit with my mom and you.
Yeah.
My dad didn't get it.
Your dad really didn't get it. He was just like the weird thing in the resort. Okay. Your mom was like, we all have to go to Le Petit Chef.
Yeah.
And your dad's like, that's a very expensive thing to do. And she's like, it's hilarious. They went, right? They went.
They went, yeah, without us.
Yeah.
And the biggest betrayal.
Biggest betrayal.
But I'm
of our
glad
lives.
she got to go.
I'm so glad she got to go to Le Petit Chef.
Me too.
I don't think she liked it.
Yeah, I don't think it was very good.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Le Petit Chef.
What's yours?
Okay. Well, mine happened a couple nights ago.
Ooh.
We were here in Burbank till late at night.
Oh, no.
And we're trying to figure out where to go to eat. And so we find a place to eat called the Dog House, which is just like a sausage joint where
They have vegan sausage too.
Yeah. And so we're going to the Dog House, and like the thing I love about you, but is also, very always in my face, is how expressive you are as a person. And so I'm pulling into the strip mall the other night, and Allison just out of nowhere goes, whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa.
I don't think I've ever done that before.
Like I was about to look, man, I'm so concerned. We got like I was about to hit something.
I don't think in my life I've ever gone, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah, you're whoa, 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 whoa. Like we were about to hit a child. And I was like, what? What is happening? I like freaked out, like slammed on the brakes. And then she goes to me, we're not supposed to be in here. What? What are you talking about? She goes, I don't want to pay to go into this facility. I said, it's what? She's like, it's not here. It's the restaurant isn't here. I said, it's right over. I just like stop listening to her, and I just like drive in because I don't know what the hell she's talking about. And I just like drove up to the restaurant. And she's like, you just thought suddenly that we weren't allowed in the strip mall?
Yeah, I thought that. I gotta
Please
gather.
explain yourself.
I have to gather myself. So,
She's losing her mind right now laughing.
okay, so
Yeah, please take us through
what happened
your reasoning.
was it was one of those confusing GPS situations
No, it wasn't. It wasn't confusing at all. All right, go ahead.
where those that you go off of a main road and into something else to get to it.
Right, like a lot of restaurants. Like that's just how it works.
Okay, and so I thought, as we were approaching, I thought that we were entering a workplace structure.
You thought it was like an office park.
I thought it was an office park where you had to like get a ticket, and I thought that the restaurant wasn't going to be open anymore because all the offices were closed, and that we were going to find ourselves kind of trapped in this workplace structure. And
What
so my
are you
reaction,
talking
my
about?
visceral reaction was to go, whoa, 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 whoa. For the first time in my life.
Like, okay, you thought we were going to get trapped, but it's just an open driveway into the strip mall.
I thought there was a barrier.
There was no barrier.
I thought you had to get a ticket.
But there wasn't like a gate.
Right.
There wasn't like a little house where the security guy is.
there wasn't going to be a gate.
You thought at some point we were going to encounter a gate?
I thought it was quickly approaching.
And to be clear, no gate. Zero gate.
Or not a gate. What's the thing that goes up and down?
I think you call that a gate?
No, it's not a gate. That's like a, what's it called?
What?
You know, it's a long board.
You're having an aneurysm. The baby is eating at your brain.
Collect myself.
Yeah. I think it's just called a gate. But you can comment below if there's a more specific name we should be using. Anyway, so I just drive in, and it's just like a normal strip mall where there's the restaurant, the Dog House, and people are having a nice time, and we park and we go and we had a great dinner.
Yeah.
But you were just like, you freaked me out. You're, whoa, 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 whoa. Also, if you did think it was an office park, it was like I was about to hit something, not that we were going into
I didn't want to pay $30. I thought it was going to be $30.
You thought we were going to pay $30 to go into an office park?
Yes.
What restaurants do you know that exist only in an office park?
Well, think about a studio, Hollywood Studios. They have restaurants, and you have to go through parking.
Hollywood Studios? Where's that?
No, a Hollywood studio, like
you
WB.
mean a restaurant on at the WB lot?
Yeah, or the Fox lot.
You thought the Dog House was like that?
I'm just giving you an example of where you have to pay to park in order to access a restaurant.
Okay.
I have to have like a full cry now regularly.
It was shocking. It was completely, I didn't know. I thought I was about to hit something.
Yeah. Oops.
And you think you would just be like, oh my God, do we have to pay for parking? Like, that's like a normal response, right? Like, that's so annoying. How much? Not, whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa. Don't go an inch further.
We were quickly approaching the gate that didn't
There's no
exist.
gate. There was no gate. Shout out to the people at the Dog House in Burbank, California. They were awesome.
That was a really good time. The dogs got to split a hamburger.
Yeah, it's great. Great time.
All right, well, as I collect myself, I shall share a listener's marriage moment. I really lost it. And the problem with being pregnant is that, like, any kind of heightened emotion then just wants to become a full cry.
Yeah.
Like, even just a laugh. It's like, well, now I have to have a sob just to get back to myself. Okay. So the listener writes, this past week, I felt inspired to share my marriage moment. My husband, 33 male, and I, 33 female. Well, actually, this is missing one of the numbers, and it just says 3 female, but I'm going to hope that's not true.
No, let's assume that this fucked up relationship.
My husband and I are expecting our first baby in February. We had our first doctor's appointment this past week, slightly delayed due to scheduling. To be fair, this was sent a while ago. They're not this late in the game.
No.
And it was a long one. An ultrasound, meeting with the doctor, and blood draw. All went well with the ultrasound, good implantation, and plenty of validating info from the tech. And we went to meet with the doctor who will be delivering our baby. He was great, knowledgeable, honest, and helpful. He asked us what symptoms I've been having, and I told him. Nausea, food aversions, fatigue, etc. Aside from a little spotting that was deemed fine, okay, tell that to my anxiety, my first trimester was going pretty well and comparatively easy from what I was prepared for. To every symptom, the doctor said, okay, yes, and that's normal for pregnancy. It was at my pause that my husband made a noise. I told him he could mention anything I had missed, and after looking extremely uncomfortable and some coercion on my part, he replied, do you want to tell him about the gas? I laughed, not embarrassed, but farts in general are funny, and I turned to the doctor and told him I had been farting so much I wondered if it was registering on the Richter scale. It was his response that really got us. Not even verbal, but his physical response. He turned his head and looked confused. He then replied, that's not really a pregnancy symptom. Not alarmed, but as though I had just told him our dishwasher was running a little funny, completely unrelated, uncorrelated information. We moved on, but as soon as we got in the car, both my husband and I burst into laughter. First, because my husband reads an article each day about pregnancy to help him understand more. Very sweet. And gas was absolutely mentioned.
Yeah.
And second, it was such a funny response to something that may be slightly embarrassing to mention. Fast forward to today, where I've already clocked at least 8 farts by 12 p.m. Uncomfortable to control, so you've got to do what you got to do. And every time my husband hears it, he cocks his head and looks at me like I'm crazy, and we both laugh hysterically. He has incredible physical humor and timing, so he will often follow it up with 1 or 2 puzzling glances, as though to say, what's going on? Which only makes me laugh and sometimes fart more. I'm laughing just typing this. We've been together for 8 years, married for 5, and each day I'm reminded how much I love him and how excited I am to continue growing and building our lives together. I hope the humor carries on to the days of postpartum when it's a little dark and a little bleak and we can laugh together at our baby's farts in a moment of levity.
Aww.
I think one of the best things about like a partner is like when you get to experience someone else being weird and then you get to bring that home.
Yeah.
And talk about it and mimic it and like have it become like part of your lore.
Right. Right. We do that a lot.
Yeah. Who do we like? Can you think of? I'm trying to think of like real people who we've like picked up weird things from.
I can't think of one off the top of my head, but recently we've had the workers in the house, and they're like redoing our closets, and we said, hey, could you tell us which closet you're going to be doing? Like, so that we can like move things to one closet and then move them to the other closet, so we can like plan out our lives instead of ripping everything and being in our living room for the week. And they told us, no, we're going to be doing all of the closets everywhere
at the
all
same
at
time.
Once. We can't tell you which ones we're going to do. We're going to do them all the time. We're going to be just going around, going to different closets.
1 shelf per day per closet.
Hurry up. Get in the other closet. Like, and then they came here this week and they very clearly were doing 1 closet at a time.
Yeah, maybe 2.
And we were just like, huh. It's just weird because you guys aren't like running through the house. You aren't like doing like, so like that kind of became this week. We were like, just like, well, they're everywhere.
They're everywhere. Like, it's like weird that they're not doing it all together all at once.
Right.
Why aren't there 20 men in our home
Yeah.
doing all the closets at the same time?
But yeah, I mean, all the time it's like, oh, you know what's one? I have one. We were in Florence and on our honeymoon, and like we were waiting to get into the Duomo, and like there was a guy selling women like shawls to like cover up, and so that they could get in.
You can't go in if you have like your shoulders showing.
And I was like, let's just see if they really enforce this or whatever, and because I just wanted to go in and see it, and you didn't really care like if they didn't let you in, like you'll just not go in. And this guy was really pushy. Like really, like we were like, no, thank you. And he's like, they won't let you in. And you were like, I don't care if I don't go in. I'm just here for him. And he would not stop. And it was like pretty uncomfortable. And he kept doing this to multiple people. And then like right behind us was like this like.
Well, then the cops came.
Yeah.
Okay.
But right behind us was like this super religious lady that you could like, she seemed like she was from the South in America, and like, and she was just like eyeing him. And then the cops came like the Italian police came and they like were taking this guy away to stop hassling.
They just
guests.
took all of his stuff.
And they took all of his stuff.
Yeah, they took all of his scarves.
Right. And so we're like watching this and like it's like this wild thing. Grateful that like he's not bothering us, but also like, you know, watching the police and then the lady behind us just goes, "The devil's work gets the devil's pay." And so now a lot of times we'll just go, "Devil's work gets the devil's pay." So we talk about that lady a lot.
Yeah, she's great. She was influential.
Yeah.
Another one that I think we sometimes use is we went to this pizza place in Florida.
Oh yeah, that place is amazing.
And they like have like they cook their pizza, I guess, really hot. Like that's their thing. They have like some intense oven. And so when you come out, when we were with my parents, we were there for a family wedding, and the guy comes out and he's like, "Okay, just so you know." Just so you know, the pizza is going to come out black. That's how it's supposed to look. Don't try to send it back. It's going to look black and burned.
I was like, can you just like not burn the pizza? Like, no, that's how we do it.
That's how
Our ovens are too hot. Our ovens are way hotter than normal pizza ovens, so it has to burn the pizza. It's like, what is the point of this place? What is the point of this?
Which is the idea of like preemptively being like, this is gonna go bad, and you can't say anything about it.
Right.
This is we're like, so like a lot of times like in that kind of situation,
yes.
We'll be like, yeah, the pizza will be black.
The pizza will be black. Look, this place was a crematorium. We inherited it, turned it into a pizza restaurant, and we can't change the temperature.
But that's like whenever we have like an interaction with somebody where like it goes badly or like they're bad at their job or they're like whatever.
That's
like,
how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be. It's like, wow. Please write in the ones that you have picked up from various weird interactions that you've had in your life. I feel like that will be so fun to hear.
So fun. Please send them in.
What has stuck with couples. Welcome back to Starter Marriage. It's time to pop the question. This is the part of the show where we dive deep into the main episode of the topic of the episode.
We dive deep into the topic of the episode and deep dive into the episode of the topic.
Exactly. And this week, we're talking in-laws.
Ooh, uh-oh.
Well, actually,
we're going to talk about your in-laws.
Yeah.
My in-laws.
Yeah, your in-laws. Well, because as a relationship coach, I think, something that is often comes up with couples is like how to integrate into another person's family.
Yeah.
And the expectations. And, I think one of the most helpful things I learned when I was getting my master's was I took this great couples therapy class. And, my teacher really emphasized, my professor really emphasized that each family is basically its own culture.
Yeah.
You could say culture, you could say cult.
Yeah.
Right? Like a family unit grows up with its own rules and traditions and outlooks and ways of being.
Yeah.
And then you go out and you're like, oh, that's just how the world is. But it's no, that's your weird little ecosystem.
Mm-hmm.
And then for you to have to then join someone else's ecosystem and then hopefully blend it with yours can be much trickier than it might seem on the surface.
Yeah. Absolutely. And you go through a lot of culture shock.
Yes.
When the little customs or the things you all like or the little jokes, food I feel is a big one. What people, especially
in my family, because they don't eat anything.
Yeah, but also with my family too. I think what you eat, what you prioritize, how it's presented, just even the fact that we've talked about how for me a home cooked meal was something I would do on a Friday or Saturday night. I really have to twist your arm if I'm going to cook at home on a Friday or Saturday night. You want to order food because it's the weekend and therefore fun. And when I was even single, I would be oh, it's Saturday night. Maybe I'm going to cook this intense meal or something like that I've wanted to try.
Foreign.
Yeah, it's and for you it's even if you want that, you're but going out is nice or going, or
right.
So where we rarely did that. It made me think back to me meeting your family for the first time, or not meeting them, but I remember there was like one weekend kind of early on where I like went to Scarsdale for the first time, and your mom and you were both like, had both separately said, like, we're worried because me and your dad were going to spend like a day and a half together or something. And you were both like, it's going to be awkward. It's going to be awkward that the two of them are just together. He's like I think you and your mom was like, he's a weird guy. He's a weird man. And so I was like, I guess I had met your dad before, and like, so I was like, all right, I guess I'm like preparing.
You were just alone with my dad?
Yeah, we were alone for like, I want to say like 2 days or something.
Why?
Maybe a day and a half. You were like in Chicago on your book thing.
Oh, right. Yeah. So
And
my mom had come out to join me in Chicago on my book tour.
Yeah, and so I was just going to hang out with your dad early because I was coming from Wisconsin for fun. And then I was going to spend 2 days in Scarsdale with your dad, or like a week. I think it was like a day and a half. And I just remember being like, this guy is totally normal. He was like, loves baseball, or talking about baseball. I mean, he sort of did put me to work on like looking up hitters and stuff like that, because I was showing him, some advanced stats and whatever. But yeah, it was an interesting, like, looking back at that time too. Like, I brought gifts and trying to like ingratiate yourselves with these people. It is like you're joining like a foreign country or something.
I remember also early on, I don't think we've talked about this on the show, because like your family is like so ingrained in you, like who everyone is, what their weird personalities are like, the dynamics, and then this other person is entering and they like don't know any of it. So early on in our dating process, I decided that I would draw you.
I had a whiteboard in my apartment.
I would draw you my family tree.
Yeah, this is so funny.
The whiteboard. And then I would go through who everybody was and give like a brief description of their personality.
Right.
But for a lot of them, I'd be like, and this is my aunt. She was a nurse. She was great. Dead.
And then she'd cross through their name. This person, she was just really just a total sweetheart. Everyone loved her. Dead. This guy, really nice. And then in the height of his life, he died. Dead. She had me in stitches. It was so funny.
But like, it was like a way for you to like get a sense of
right.
like.
Well, I realized, she's got a lot of dead relatives.
Yeah, I do. Oh, yeah. And so that was like a way to just like, because like when you think about your life and like your childhood, especially if you end up seeing your extended family quite a bit, like I happen to on my dad's side at least, it's like these are like the characters that like made up like your childhood in a lot of ways. And so putting them like in this graph was like my way to like relate it to you.
Right.
Because I weirdly always feel like you don't really like know your partner until you could be like, and who's my dad's youngest brother?
Right.
And they like know the answer.
Right.
And what's their wife's name? And how many kids do they have?
Yeah. And also like the dynamics, like, sometimes we'll be out to dinner and your dad will just lie about something. Like he'll just say, hey, so I was reading that these people won the lottery and they bought a dolphin with it in their backyard. And you're like, what? Stop it. No, that's not true. And he's like, no, but they did win the lottery. And it's like some AOL news story that he's sharing with us, but then he also invented some little thing at the end of it.
He's lying all the time.
That like delights him.
Yeah.
And so now I just know his thing, and like I'm part of like the culture where it's just like, okay, what is Ken saying? Is it a lie? Is it a half lie? He's just tickled to death by something. But at the beginning you're like, oh, interesting. Okay. Where are you getting this? Or how did you find out? And then it's just funny to see like you and your mom be like, shut up, Ken, shut up. Stop talking about the dolphin story. Like,
you have to view him with extreme skepticism. And what's really tricky is that he'll say 9 outrageous things that are all a lie. And then the 10th thing will be true.
Right.
And so then it's like he gets you.
Right.
Because like that time, that was a true story from AOL.com.
Right. Exactly. Right.
What has been like some of the hardest like cultural shock transitions for you, like joining my family?
Definitely the food stuff, because they're so picky.
Yeah.
And there's so many opinions and hard opinions. So it's never just like, I don't like to eat this food or I don't prefer this food. It's like peppers are disgusting. They're disgusting. And anywhere near a pepper, I will just, like, it's just, they like such strong takes, which I'm like very, like, that was odd. Like,
and then what's so funny is, like, my dad has very specific food tastes.
Yeah.
Like, I have a children's palate.
Yeah.
My dad has a baby's palate,
Yeah, baby's
right?
palate, yeah.
And my mom was more open, but she had a few things that she really, really hated.
Yeah,
Peppers being one of them.
Yeah.
And then somehow my dad went out there and found a partner who is even pickier than him.
Unbelievable.
In a shocking twist, his new partner hates even more stuff.
Yeah.
Just absolutely lovely. But like now we're even more constricted than we were before.
Right. I think getting to know your parents was an interesting experience because on one hand, they were so welcoming and lovely and present, and like your dad and your mom, I mean, still your dad and your mom when she was alive, like would just like text me out of nowhere about how I was doing or how like, a presentation went, and it's just like a level of involvement in my life that like I'm not really used to from a parental figure. And so I've like developed like a real attachment to both of them in that way. But then you're at the same time, like, especially before we were married, like you're still a boyfriend, and it's like, when are you going to propose? Like, what's the job status? Like, there's like pressures with it too. Like, you still feel like a little outside of it. I wonder if like other people out there have felt this before, where it's like, wow, I'm like starting to view these people like extensions of my family and like my own family, but at the same time, like at the end of the day, they're like on Team Allison, and if anything happens or like, so there's still that like guard. And I think especially because of my situation where like, I don't know, sometimes we were talking to my family when we were dating and other times we weren't, like, but your parents were always like kind of a steady presence. And then, yeah, it was just like it's just like an interesting, like, in between place to be in. And, I don't really feel that anymore. Weirdly, your mother's death made me really feel like I was part of the family, like in a deep way. Like, I think me and Jocelyn like actually became pals during that time. And like, I think it was like the last day that your mom could talk, and we had just told her about the fact that she was going to die, like that there was no.
She had quite a bit of time between knowing that and not being able to talk. I mean, when I say quite a bit of time, I mean like a week. But she knew it was CJD, and she could still talk.
I think it was like one of the last days she could like really talk, like,
okay.
What I mean, like express complex thoughts.
Yeah. Okay.
And I sat down and I was like, I want to tell her that I love her. I don't think I'd ever said I love you before to her. And I was like, I need to tell you something. She was like not expecting this like intense conversation. She was like shrugging and smiling like, oh, this sucks, huh? Like, what a weird thing. And she was like so concerned that like I wasn't having a good time. Like, like, and I was like, Ruth, I have to tell you something. Like, I love you. I love you so much. And I feel like you've been a second mother to me. And you've really like shown me another way that I could have a relationship with like a mom. And I told her, like, even though it was only 2 years while we were married, or I guess 1 year, 2 years maybe in total, but I said, thank you for giving me that at all. Like, just thank you for this time. And I have to say that to you now.
I think you had, because if she's we've been together now 4.5 years, and she died almost a year ago. So I think you had 3.5 years with her.
Yeah, maybe. Whatever it was.
It was
like,
not enough.
Yeah.
It was not enough.
But I was like, whatever the short time is, like, at least I had it. And I will always have it, that time. And she told me that, it was so hard for her still to, like, talk. And she was, like, getting the words out. But she was like, that she viewed me like her son that she didn't have. And she, she said, sorry, I wasn't expecting to go here, but, she said, like, it's your turn to take care of Allison now. I'm handing her off to you. And I hope you have a long, wonderful marriage. And she made me promise that you and Ken wouldn't drag me to Marvel movies if I didn't want to go. Because we both hate Marvel movies. Don't at me. And yeah. And we just had a beautiful little relationship. And then the night she died, I was like taking everything down, and I went into the pantry. And in the pantry, your mom knew that we were coming out, and she bought a bottle of bourbon that had yet been opened. It was like this bottle of bourbon that's like aged in like maple syrup that was like really delicious, that she had bought in Vermont, that she had bought like 6 months earlier when I was there, and she had bought me one, and we had drank one together. But because we were coming back, she ordered it or something, or like it was brand new, and like it must have been because she knew we were coming. And so I lost it. I just like lost it. Like it was like this little reminder that she was like planning this thing with me, that we were gonna like have this drink together. And so I opened it and had it that night. But yeah, like it was cool. It was really cool to get to know your parents and like become friends with them. I'm still friends with your dad, but like for your mom, I'm just saying like to have that relationship.
Yeah, I know that you would always be like, they're checking in on me. And I'd be like, yeah, they care about you. They love you. And it was like so foreign to you.
Well, I was just like, I'm just like hardwired a different way. And it'd be like, hey, how's the job search? Or hey, when are you hearing back from Netflix about your show? And I'd be like, my first reaction is like, they're trying to see if I'm legit, or if I'm like just a freeloader and blah, 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 blah. Like they're trying to see if like their daughter, should really marry me. But then it's like, no, that's not what it is at all.
No.
And like, it took me time to like realize, yeah, that's like, it's just like they just want to know how I'm doing, and they're genuinely interested.
I've done a lot of cool stuff in my career, and my sister has never cared about any of it as much as she cared about your Netflix show.
Yeah, the day I met Amy Adams, she thought that was very cool.
Like she was like constantly talking about your Netflix show, asking questions about it. I want to be like, Jocelyn, I've sold shows too. You never asked me about that very much at all.
Yeah, but you're her younger sister. But yeah, so yeah. And you observe things, which is really interesting. Like you observe, I obviously adored your mother. She also had so much anxiety. And sometimes that anxiety would get on my nerves but I would see like, oh my God, like she's anxious about this thing. And I see like sometimes Jocelyn is anxious about things like this, and Allison, I was like, it's like you all, like I'm watching you all like be like a family unit.
Yeah, you
like,
see the influence.
You see the influences, right? And like sometimes you'll be like you'll always say like, oh, me and Jocelyn are so different, and in so many ways you are. But like from my perspective, like oh, they like. I remember Jocelyn one day was like holding court, making jokes, and she like made a joke in a certain way that reminded me of you, and I was like, yeah, they're sisters. Like she made this funny joke, but then they're also anxious about the same things. Like I don't know, it's like, and then your mom is the same way, and like you're just like seeing, like you said, this like culture of people. and I'm this outsider. And so like, yeah, there's something rockiness sometimes when you're like assimilating into the culture, but it's also like a cool like anthropological like study of like you get to see how this works.
Right, like, I'll be like, you know, I think you didn't understand, like, why I get so worried about being late to something.
Right.
And then we'd, like, be on vacation with my parents, and we're, like, sharing a suite or something, and we're supposed to meet them for breakfast at 8:30, and at 8:31, my dad's knocking on the door,
yeah.
being like, "Hello, where are you?" You know, and
which couldn't be different in my family.
Right.
We're going to leave by 10 o'clock. We wind up leaving by 11.
Right.
Right.
But, like, when you see my dad physically knock on the door 1 minute after the time, then you get, like, why I became so obsessed with being on time to things.
And that's really changed me. Like, the culture of your family and you. Now I'm, like, really into being punctual.
It's nice.
Yeah, I'm really into being punctual.
My sister, though, always was a little late.
Yeah.
She doesn't play by the same rules.
Right.
And, you know, that's, you know, you have an anomaly here and there.
Right.
I mean, one of the things that was like the most heartbreaking about my broken engagement was like losing this family I thought I was going to become a part of.
Yeah.
Like, I'd been so close with my ex's parents.
Yeah.
And I saw his brother and sister-in-law all the time and their kids. I had like a real relationship with his niece. Like there was like a sense of like, she's not going to know like where I went and why like she never saw me again.
Yeah.
And how abruptly they shut me out.
Yeah.
Like, I called his mom the night he left me to be like, what's going on? Like, this is so crazy. And, like, she didn't answer the phone. And this is, like, coming from a woman who was, like, sending me texts all the time about how excited she was that I was going to be her daughter-in-law. And, like, we had, like, a very close, good relationship. And she wouldn't even take my call.
Wow.
And it's just, like it's that thing, right? It's like, oh, I'm a part of the family, but.
Yeah.
But I think something we've talked about is, like, once we have a kid, that's different. Like, because you will forever be, you know, my dad's grandson's father, my sister's nephew's father.
Right.
Like, it does, like, add this level of almost, like, safety to the connection because, like, we are now tied by blood in this weird way. I mean, I hope you would feel that level without it, but, like, you know, having gone through what I went through with my ex, like, I get why you wouldn't.
Right.
But now, like, it cements the family in a different way.
Absolutely, it really does. Because if, like, God forbid you died.
Right.
Like, I think I would still keep up with your family. Maybe your dad and I would still do fantasy baseball together. But I don't know. Like, I bet over time it might.
If my mom was still alive, I think you would. Because she was a connector.
Yeah.
She was good at keeping in
touch
with people.
But now there's no chance. Yeah, I mean, it's true. Like, I'm forever our son's father, you know, so.
Until I tell him it was someone else.
Yeah.
As a prank.
This kid's going to wind up so messed up for all the pranks. Going to go to college and be like, have a different sense of reality than everyone else. When you met, or like when our parents like met and went down to where my parents live, and it was like a nice day.
Yeah.
And like my parents like were pretty well behaved and like everyone had like a really great experience from it, at least in the moment, I think. Like, what was that like, that culture like for you? Like, I know like we've talked about on the show, like all the wildness, but like.
I've never felt safe or comfortable around your parents.
Yeah.
And so, even, you know, the dynamic is always like, not that they're saying negative things about me to my face, but like I've known that they've said so many negative things about me, and that I know that like if I slip anything up, it's going to be thrown in my face later.
Yeah. And
that there's no way that I could behave well there's no way that like at some point my behavior during this interaction won't be then looked at negatively.
Right.
And also, you know, like a lot of like kind of bananas comments. So it's not like aggressive comments, but like things that just make me deeply uncomfortable.
Right.
You know, of like be our therapist or you know, so I've never felt relaxed around your family.
But I completely understand that. I'm just curious about like if you notice any like cultural things, like me interacting with my parents.
It's tense.
Yeah.
I mean, like it, like you guys like navigating cooking together and well, like here's like a huge cultural difference is like they insisted we came down for Christmas Eve and we had to stay also for Christmas. And so they got us a hotel so we could stay with the dogs. Even though it's like an hour away, but then on Christmas Day, we weren't allowed at the house until 5 p.m.
Right.
So, like, that was, like, very bizarre to me.
Yeah.
Like, it's like if you're visiting family, why wouldn't you be spending that whole time with them?
Right.
And so this idea that, like, we had to stay at the hotel so that we could see them 2 nights in a row, when if we're not spending the second day together, why couldn't we just have gone home and come back for 2 dinners in a row?
Uh-huh.
Like, that, like, blew my mind.
Yeah. Right. Well, because it's all about, like, she feels like she has to, like, host and, like, present and, like, put on a show and look a certain way and, like, all these, like, insecurities that she has, like, of, like, and so it's born out of this place of, like, I think that she doesn't feel like she can just be herself around you and around, like, maybe your parents or other people, which is so heartbreaking. But what it comes off as is, I don't want to be with you, which is confusing.
Yeah.
It's just confusing. Yeah.
And so, like, spending Christmas Day, like, the two of us just kind of, like, bumbling around this town, killing time until we were allowed at your parents' house.
Yeah. It was a nice town.
It was a nice town. Yeah. But, like, that's, like, that's a big kind of
huge cultural shock.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you and another one of my exes, like, love to spend time with their family, like, all the time when they're in town, or, like, the expectation is you're going to spend time with your family. And that was, like, that was a culture shock for me. That was a culture shock for me, for sure.
Well, it's also something I had to work on because my instinct was to always prioritize my parents over everybody and everything, and having to, like, come to realize that, like, for us to have a healthy relationship, like, you had to be prioritized.
Yeah.
And that, like, at a certain point, like, I had to rely and value our relationship as much as I valued and relied on my relationship with them.
Right.
But I think losing my mom, like, super sped up that transition. Like, I was already in the midst of that transition, but I now rely on you and, like, depend on you, and the space that you fill in my life is now even greater because my mom is gone.
Yeah. That's what she told me.
Yeah. Like, you've had to, like, kind of take over a major, like, role.
Right.
And it did, like, and I think for a lot of people that aren't that close with their parents, that's the role the partner takes to begin with.
Right.
But for me, she was such a huge part of my life.
Right.
And such a huge support system.
Yeah.
That to then lose her, it was like, oh, I need to, like, let John into this space.
Right.
Yeah. You're doing an okay job.
Yeah, I'm doing okay. You have notes.
No, you're doing great. You're doing great. Yeah. But I do wonder, like, I feel so different now than I used to around this. Like, it used to really bump for me, the idea of, like, putting anything before my family of origin.
Yeah.
And now, like, it feels more like kind of a no-brainer.
Mm-hmm.
It's also, like, interesting, like, what phase you enter into a family dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you used to live with your sister.
Yeah.
Like, in LA.
Yeah.
As adults. And now, like, I can't even, like, envision or imagine that.
Yeah. It was awesome.
Yeah.
We had a great time. Like, Jen's the best.
She's awesome, but, like, we barely see her.
Yeah.
So, like, this idea that, like, every single day she was, like, your roommate.
Yeah,
and you
absolutely.
were, like, living with her as an adult. Like,
100%.
That's, like, it's almost like lore.
Yeah, I know. I miss it. I miss it a little bit. Like,
totally.
Not in the sense, like, I want to go back to it, but it was fun. It was fun seeing. I wish they lived closer. But yeah.
Because that's the other thing, is, like, catching people up, just, like, not on, like, what the dynamic is today, but, like, what the history has been with these people.
Right.
you know, because like my relationship with my sister has dramatically changed many times in my life.
Right.
And like the version that you came into now is like very different than what it was growing up when she like hated me.
Right. Yeah. And even, you know, Joe, Jocelyn's husband, has known you they've been together so long that you've had so many relationships with him.
Right.
Right.
I've known him since I was like 16 years old.
Right. And so, yeah, stepping into this tight-knit family is interesting. It's a lovely experience, if at times a little, you know, overwhelming maybe, but.
And like you didn't know the girls until they were like people.
Right.
Like you don't have like a reference point for like Bella
When they were
as a baby or like
baby
a toddler, Bella. Right?
Right. No, I don't.
But I feel like looking like as they age, like you will so be their uncle.
Right? Oh yeah, for sure.
Right? Because like at what age
they won't even remember
like they probably won't even remember like that you weren't in their life for like the first however many years.
Yeah, definitely not.
And part of that's also because like you've cultivated that relationship with them.
Absolutely. I mean, Belle and I have invented an entire language that we speak to each other. So that's a lot of time that you devote to.
Because when your sister had the baby and one of our friends was like, "You're finally an uncle." And I was like, he's been an uncle. He's been an uncle for years.
Yeah. So this goes back to something I said in one of the very first episodes, which is like a marriage doesn't just define a relationship between two people. It defines all of these different webs of relationships. Because even the family culture of like Jocelyn's family is a little different than like your nuclear family.
Oh, totally.
And so you're seeing like these little cultures, all these little cultures and how they interact with each other, and you're creating new relationships out of that. And
I think it could also be difficult to put energy into your in-laws.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I think that there's often, like, a reluctance of, like, I gotta spend my holidays, like, even if you like them, but just this sense of, like, I gotta spend my holidays with these people. I gotta, like, if you're partnered with someone who does spend a lot of time with their family, I gotta give up my Sundays every Sunday to, like, see their family.
Yeah.
Like, I think that the amount of space that in-laws take up in a life of a couple can be something that's, like, very tricky to navigate.
Right.
Where, like, I would be like, well, why doesn't my parents, like, when my mom was on, I was like, we could just, like, live in their house and we could all just live together forever. And you were like, no.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
We're like, like, which vacations do we spend as a unit versus, like, just us? And I think, like, recognizing that, like, it's okay to not naturally want to put time and energy into building these relationships with in-laws, but that doesn't mean that you can't or shouldn't, right?
Yeah.
Like, it might not come naturally to you. It might be, like, uncomfortable. It might, like, be challenging, but ultimately, like, that's a way to, like, honor your partner.
Yeah.
And, like, what their needs are from their family.
It's interesting because you're, like, a member of a tight-knit group, and I'm coming in, and not only am I assimilating into that group, but I'm also pulling you out of it a little bit.
Right.
Right. And then you're having the experience of, like, you're in this thing that you've been in your whole life, but you're also sort of leaving it a little bit. Like, not totally, but,
and that's why so many families feel threatened by their kids' partners.
Right.
Right. I mean, obviously, we experience that with your family,
exactly.
But, like, it's like this outsider threat.
Right.
And, like, who gets Thanksgiving, who gets Christmas, who gets,
Yeah.
And as someone who was, like, and it's just funny because as someone who was, like, so close with my family and, like, never really, was, like, that close with any of my partner's families, I finally, like, let my walls down with my ex-fiance and was like, wow, I really could envision these people feeling like second parents to me.
Yeah.
I'd never felt that before. It was like I couldn't even believe I could get there with people that weren't my parents. And then it was like never to see them again.
Yeah.
Never to answer my call again.
Yeah. When I broke up with my ex that I was with for a long time, like, I had to pick up my bike at her parents' condo or her parents' house because I was, like, storing it there. And I will say it was sweet. Like they gave me the bike, and then they all came out, like, and their like extended family was there, and so they all came out to say goodbye to me, which was like,
That's so nice.
it was very nice, and it was also awkward, and
But that's like the rules of that family.
yeah,
right?
exactly, yeah,
Whereas like every friend through my ex-fiance that I knew, like everyone I knew through him friend-wise, everyone reached out to me. Not a single person in his family reached out to me.
wow,
And like I guess that's the rules, right? It's
Yeah.
like once someone's out, they're out.
yeah.
And like I hope we don't operate like that.
No, I hope not. I hope not. I don't know what is lurking underneath that. Like, what's the psychology underneath that? Maybe it's like the threat that you're talking about, but like, yeah, I hope we don't foster that in our family. That it's more. That's why I'm like so insistent on holidays. Like Christmas Eve last year, we hosted Christmas Eve, and it was just like anyone who doesn't have a place to come. Like fluid borders here, like we just
A
to the point
looser
where
definition of family.
yeah, exactly. To the point where I think you were like, how many people are you inviting? Like, I'm just like, yeah, anyone and everyone. And you're like, we have a small house.
Okay, well, it's time for our final segment of the show, my soon-to-be patented game show, Stay or Leave. This is where I present you with a hypothetical situation of what I might do to you in the future, and you decide if you would stay or leave me, because marriage is a choice, not a trap.
This is something you're planning on doing?
No, but it could happen.
You have plans. You have secret plans that I don't know about. You have a file with all these plans.
Hopefully not this one, because this one's pretty bananas. Okay.
All right, hit me.
It is 32 years in the future.
Okay.
Our son is about to get married, and I suspect that his in-laws are a part of a dangerous criminal organization. And that if he marries their child, he will get swept up in it, and his life will be in danger.
Wow.
When you ask what proof I have, I say, a mother knows.
Oh, no.
I then insist that you break into their house while I distract them to look for proof of their nefarious lifestyle.
What?
I say this breaking and entering is necessary to protect our son. Would you stay or leave? I was so delighted with myself as I wrote that one.
You always know Allison's writing stay or leave or one of the hypotheticals because she's just in another office going, she's just, you hear clicking like of the type of the keyboard and just going, I'm the best. She doesn't actually say that like Luigi, but I would leave you.
Really?
Oh, you're surprised?
Well, you did challenge me to come up with something that would make you leave.
Yeah, that's true. And you finally did. You finally came up with
now,
one.
Here's a question.
I can't do that.
If I had more proof, does that change things?
What? Give me an example of the proof that their family is
That
part of a
I
criminal
had
organization.
overheard a conversation that they alluded to things like murder and bribery and things and
People
drugs.
are swimming with the fishes.
Yeah.
Well, I'd be kind of scared to like break into this criminal organization's house to find evidence. Like, I think I'd probably want to like talk to our son about it, or like, I would be more comfortable talking to the in-laws and being like, hey, like, what is the
Can't do that.
Oh, instead I'm gonna break into their house. Like, if they were in the mob, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm from Jersey.
No, it's not the mob, because I know you'd be okay with the mob.
I'm not okay with the mob, but at least
like-
I could like talk to them about, like, I feel like, I don't think like just asking a question to a guy in the mob, like he's gonna like shoot me or something because I'm like curious about the family business.
This is like a really...
Like a cartel?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's cool. So he's marrying rich. That's interesting.
Okay, so you'd leave me and just become part of this nefarious
Yeah, I was like,
business?
do you need anyone with some very special skills? Yeah, I leave you and I join the cartel too.
All right. Well,
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
what do I do? So I've
Your
lost
son
my son
and your
my
husband
to this
are
thing.
now wildly wealthy cartel members.
Uh-huh.
We're smoking cigars. We're on the yacht. Beautiful women everywhere. You could be a part of that.
Maybe I'd ask for a bunch of money to start an animal sanctuary.
You'd extort us?
Yeah.
Wow.
For an animal sanctuary.
You're the one who really wants to be the head of a criminal organization. You're the mob boss. You're the real mob. You're going to be the Don Corleone of the family.
Well, I've always said that if I didn't have strong morals, I'd be very dangerous.
It's a weird thing to always say about yourself.
But like I'm a master manipulator. I could be using a lot of my skills for evil.
Uh-huh. Sometimes I think you do use your skills for evil. You use it to get stuff.
Yeah.
You use it, I call you a scutch, which I'm sure no one has heard of, but comment below if you've heard of it. That was like a thing that like my grandmother would always say. It's like being like a little troublemaker. You're a scutch.
I could be up to way more stuff than I'm up to, is all I'm saying. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us for this week's episode. If you wanted to watch the video version, which includes me full on sobbing, like a really kind of unclear laugh to cry kind of transition.
Unhinged kind of behavior. Yeah.
And then followed by a genuine cry during the parts about my mom. You can check that out on youtube.com/justbetweenus.
And if you'd like to read more about marriage or read it all, like if you just want to read, pick up Conversations About Modern Marriage, written by Allison Raskin, or Save the Date, also a new book by Allison Raskin, or Emotional Support Lady on Substack.
The main title is I think, Conversations.
What did I say?
You just say Conversations About Modern Marriage, but that would probably still show up in the Google.
Yeah, look, just Google Allison Raskin and buy all her books. She's got a lot of books. It's hard to keep them all square.
And John has an incredible new Substack called Wrong Man for the Job, which is tackling masculinity, family estrangement, and also makes me cry.
I do my best. I try to.
And if you enjoyed this even just a little bit, even if like you were like, this wasn't the worst thing I've ever heard,
right?
Please leave us a rating and review. It means the world to us. It's the only thing that gets us going.
Say 5 stars and then write, this isn't the worst thing I ever heard, period. We're happy with that. We'll take it.
And if you want to submit your marriage moment or let us know what weird phrase you've picked up from people in your life, please send us an email at startermarriagepodcast@gmail.com. That's startermarriagepodcast@gmail.com. And as we say in our home, good night to me, the Alibaba.
Good night to you, the Alibaba.